These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Breitling. One of the gentlemen I've known since I was a teenager worked putting out reports for companies that invest based on policy. They don't sit out the market and wait for something to happen. If a policy goes in, they follow that and they invest in it. How do you think senators, congressmen get so rich? It's through policy. They know where the next big thing is coming from. Anyways, I've talked to these guys about it, the Dinar, over the years. It's not that they didn't believe in it. There was other investments in their mind that had less of a risk. Breitling goes on to say, a couple of days ago, I got a call from one of these guys, and he's like, hey, are you still into this IQD thing? And I'm like, yeah, I watch it and follow that stuff. He goes, cool, I just bought a ton of Dinar. He started telling me the strategy that Iraq had. Very, very good news. We're at a different place today. Sort of hit that reset button. Iraq is on a completely different strategy. I am excited. Information I got was cool, but I'm excited because this is genius what they're doing and how they're doing it. Hang in there, be happy. Frank26 question, can I go to a money changer center to change my IQD if I don't want to go to a bank? Frank says, I wouldn't go to a money exchanger bank. That's up to you. I'm not telling you to not do it. I wouldn't because it's too small. It's like going to a kiosk at an airport. It's too small. It's like going to a credit union. It's like going to a mom and pop bank. They're too small. Militiaman says international transfers, international withdrawals, international payments. You haven't done that before and you haven't done it at an official rate of $14.60. $11.90, $13.10, or $11.66. They have never done that, never been allowed to do that. Why would they do that now at a $13.10? My view is they won't, and all of this is really fascinating because it means going from a public country to a private sector. It is phenomenal. All right, Hennig published article, Global Gold, Central Bank buys 30 tons of yellow metal and Iraq maintains its rank. Quote, Iraq maintained its classification of 30th globally out of 100 countries listed in the table with the largest gold reserves after it rose 10 ranks in July by buying 33.9 tons of gold to reach its possession of gold 130.3 tons, which represents 8.6% of the rest of its other reserves. Frank26 says it is possible they will introduce the budget at $13.10, but it won't stay that way for long because inflation will force the float to start in order to counter inflation. Walking Stick and Frank26, the explanation of the new exchange rate with those new small category notes is all going to come out in articles first. In our opinion, that's the next phase step in the process of the monetary reform education. Then you'll see it physically on the CBI website, on markets across the world as they trade with it. You'll see the rate, you'll see it as it floats. All right, Claire article, quote, Democrats semi-final agreement on the share of Kurdistan region in the budget, unquote. Another quote, the Kurdistan region demanded 17% and the federal government set a rate of 12.67 before agreeing on a rate of 14% to proceed with the draft budget. Frank26 says all the gold they have in their foreign reserves for your Iraq's currency is the common sense that tells you Iraqis are going to have a new exchange rate to match all that reserve power. They're positioning mechanisms that allow the dinar to float. I strongly believe this month of March you're going to be shown the new small category notes and the new exchange rate that will go with it. Mountain Goat article, quote, an oil agreement paves the way for announcing a comprehensive budget in the coming days. Quote, there is a presence to deliver Kurdistan's oil to Baghdad to proceed with an oil agreement within the terms of 2023 budget. Can you see now the oil and gas law and the budget are interconnected? Now let's also add the rate of the dinar on top of it all.